watch, identical to the first. With his growing popularity in the Ottoman Empire, Brigette decided to send Leroy, a skilled and trustworthy watchmaker, as his representative to Turkey. Leroy settled in Constantinople, and as of 1811, he received a yearly average of 6 to 8 extremely valuable pieces. Geneva-based workshops specializing in opulently enameled watches and familiar with Ottoman motifs enabled Breguet to meet the strong demand from Turkey. Istanbul's Topkapi Palace Museum owns several of Breguet's finest creations, specially made for Turkey, including the magnificent Sympathetic clock. These masterpieces impressively emphasize the successful symbiosis of avant-garde watch technology introduced by Breguet and the evocative, splendidly decorative style elements of the Ottoman Empire. Breguet and the Ottoman Empire became almost inseparable. The revolution in France after 1797, when Napoleon sent engines to spread anti-Ottoman propaganda in the Balkans, the French possession of territory in the Ionian archipelago brought about a break in Franco-Turkish relations. The Ottomans joined the Second Coalition against France in the wake of Napoleon's Egyptian expedition. The evacuation of French forces from Egypt led to the renewal of relations between France and the Ottoman Empire. Preliminary treaty of peace was signed in October 1801. Relations between the two countries were closer due to Turkish fears of Russia. The relationship between Brigette and the Ottoman Empire began in the early 19th century. At the time when trade relations between Brigette and his main markets, notably England, Spain, and Russia, were suspended by the Napoleonic Wars. The success of his watches in Turkey was largely due to the Said Ali Effendi, nicknamed the Sublime Portal, who had been sent to Paris as the Ottoman Ambassador in the response to the arrival of Marshal Sebastian, French ambassador in Constantinople. In Paris, Ali became acquainted with the famous diplomat Talleyrand, a friend and faithful client of Breguet, who introduced the two men. The friendship between Saint Ali and Abraham Louis Brigette contributed to the latter's early awareness of the importance of the Ottoman market, especially since Turkey was the only major power still allied with Napoleonic France. With Brigette certificate dated 1982, your reputation in the capital here is at its peak. All the great princes admire your work. Turkish ambassador Said Ali Effendi to Brigette. The exceptional, highly important, and probably unique clock watch is one of the most splendid watches ever made by Abraham Louis Brigette for the Turkish market. Collected from Brigette in Paris by the Turkish diplomat and statesman Mehmet Said Galip Pasha, known as the Galip Effendi in May 1808. At the price of 4,000 francs, it is one of the Brigette's most expensive watches of the period, and almost certainly made as a special order intended for the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire himself. In interesting, the period encompasses the reign of 3 sultans, as this watch would have taken up to 2 years to complete. It can be assumed that it was probably originally ordered by Sultan Selim III, but ultimately delivered to either Sultan Mustafa or his successor, Sultan Mahmud. A previous owner